everyone, and welcome to the Bridge Views. My name is Ashley, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing the owners of BEY Mediterranean, located in Roswell. We have Executive Chef Mark and his business partner, Dr. CK. Hi, guys.
Hi, welcome to BEY.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited. When this restaurant opened, I was so happy. From the outside, we were like peeking in to see, because every step of the way, we could see like the little colors, then the chairs were coming in, and it's just so beautiful. And when I got to meet you both and I found out you decorated, I was like, wow. So we have the chef, the inspiration, and the interior design, and it all comes together.
It does flow together very well. And I also have to say, like, when I first met you, I didn't know you do any of this. And it was a little bit of a surprise when you came back, because it's like, oh, we already did a mini interview before.
That's so funny.
It was so cute,
You're
actually.
like, she didn't even tell me.
Yes, not at all. But I also didn't tell you, so it's okay. It's fair game.
I had no idea when I was reading all the information. I was like, I'm sorry, doctor. Because when we were talking, you were like, oh, I just decorated everything. And it's like, not just, because it's a beautiful, beautiful restaurant. And you can tell you guys took so much time from the menu to each individual item. You can just tell there's a lot of love behind it.
We want it to be a very comfortable space, a space where it's an extension of us, an extension of our home. You know, when people come in, they feel like they're coming to, you know, have dinner with us, right? Have dinner in our ambiance. I love it when people actually come in and then when they leave, they say, oh my God, this was an experience. Like, I felt like I am transported, or I am sitting at your house and having dinner with you. So this is really what we wanted to convey.
You guys did such a good job. Like, every time I'm in here, the vibes are amazing. And I feel like even if you're here by yourself or with a girlfriend or just hanging out or with your family, like, it's just such a beautiful space. So you guys did a great job capturing all that. You're welcome. You're welcome. But for those that might not know you all, can you tell me a little bit, like, where are you guys from? What brought you to Atlanta? So let's start. Where are you guys originally from?
So we're originally Lebanese.
Okay.
So we moved here, it's been 25 years ago, I think. I came here to finish my business degree. And, you know, I worked in management in hotels all my life. I was recently the director of catering and events at Four Seasons. So, and then at some point, I had to make the jump, and then we decided to open BEY, and here we are.
So we both came in 2001, actually, from Lebanon,
Okay.
for studies initially. And being Lebanese, food is part of the culture. Like, you grow up with food.
For sure.
You express love with food. I remember, like, if grandma gave you food and you were like, oh, I'm not hungry, the immediate answer is like, oh, you don't love me. Like,
Right.
It was equated.
You have to make room for the food.
Yes, it was equated with love. So we grew up with this, and we've both always had an interest in food. So even though I have nothing to do with food itself, in my business career, I've always been interested. So this is why I've always been talking about, we want to do this, we want to do this. And then we finally jumped in as partners in another restaurant, and it kind of gave us the experience. But we wanted to do our own, where we create our family restaurant, if you want. And that's what this is.
Was that the restaurant that you all have in Dallas?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so that was the first restaurant?
Correct.
Okay, and is that still open in here?
It's still there.
Okay.
It's not ours anymore.
Okay.
We sold it. We sold it to come here and open BEY, but then the pandemic happened, and then we didn't.
Okay.
So we waited it out, and then we eventually found this beautiful location in Roswell.
So just to back up a little, in Dallas, your first restaurant, is it similar cuisine, or did you guys do a complete shift with BEY?
It's very similar cuisine, because it's Lebanese also. The ambiance and the feel of the restaurant is different. Like, what we were shooting for in here was to recreate our family home.
Okay.
Over there, it was more of a hangout hookup place.
Okay.
So it's a completely different feel if you go to the restaurant. But the cuisine itself is similar. It is definitely more elevated here.
Okay. And then how long were you guys living in Dallas?
10 years?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
And now that you guys are in Atlanta, what are the differences? Because I feel like there's a lot of comparisons between Houston, Atlanta. I hear Dallas thrown around a little bit. Do you guys feel like the food culture in Dallas was different than here, or better?
Go ahead.
So there's definitely an amazing food scene in Dallas, right? But what I feel is that in Dallas, you know, a new restaurant opens, everybody flocks to that restaurant, and then the next one opens, they forget about this one and they go to the next one. Here, especially in Roswell right here, it's more of a community, right? So it's not, I hope that that's the case. They're not going to forget about you, right? It's always you're a part of the community. You're weaved into it. So people aren't just going to forget you and go to the next one. So I feel here, I love Atlanta and I love Roswell because I mean, people are nicer. Everybody's nice, but I'm just saying here,
Yeah,
people
it's not as transient.
right.
You're gonna have more
you connect
stability
more with other people.
Roswell is a true community.
Mhm.
I think that's what you're trying to say. So when we came in, we're embraced by the community. So early on, all of our business was word of mouth.
Yeah.
And people would come in and say, oh, my neighbor was here and that's why I'm here today. Or my friend was here. And
That's
why I'm
exactly
here
what she
today."
did.
Yep.
She came in, the neighbor.
Yeah.
She came in,
Yeah.
she saw,
I
she
did.
peeped, and then she
Yes,
came back.
Exactly.
I did. I was counting down the days.
And
we had like a girls' night
Yes,
and came.
exactly. And a lot of Roswell people who live around us have been our supporting community, and we've been embraced very nice. It's been great from that perspective. So I think that's what you're trying to say in terms of the community.
And it's funny, like this week, literally, like on Thursday, I went back home and I was telling him that every guest we had on Thursday night here was a repeat guest. It wasn't a new guest. It was people that actually came and then they came again. Like everybody that was sitting here it was their second or third time in the restaurant. So
That's amazing.
Which exactly, and it gives me goosebumps because it's nice. Like it means that I hope we're doing something that people actually love and it's resonating with them and they're loving the food and the culture. So it's a nice feeling to have.
Do you find it hard as far as like in the city of Atlanta? There's so many like Middle Eastern or Mediterranean or Persian restaurants. Do you find it hard to compete as far as like, oh, this is all the same? Because a lot of people don't know the differences.
That's a very good point you make. So when we first opened, we talked about this a lot. And I made it a point, like, I do not want to look, be, feel like the Persian restaurants, even though we have similarities, because people are going to mix it up.
For sure.
Because if you don't know, you don't know. When we first opened, a lot of people would come and say, oh, this is not like at Rumi's. I'd be like,
I was going to ask,
Yes,
do you get the
you.
Rumi's comparison?
Thank you for saying that, because we're not Persian. They'd be like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, let me explain to you. So we did a lot of that early on.
A lot of teaching.
And it was great. And now people realize the difference and understand. So it has been great from that perspective, because even though there's a lot of Persian, there is really not a lot of Middle Eastern. And people mix Persian and Middle Eastern, but they're completely different culture, completely different cuisines, completely different flavor profile.
Well, I think because also the Persian restaurants here call themselves Persian Middle Eastern.
I understand, yes. But cuisine-wise,
it's completely different.
The spices we use are different. So when people came initially, they came with that idea. And then when we talked about it more, it became apparent to them the differences. And when they feel like they want Persian, they go to Persian. When they feel like they want more Middle Eastern, they come here. So it kind of helped from that perspective.
And it took a little bit of educating them and letting them know that, hey, these are the differences between this cuisine and this cuisine. Our cuisine, it's a lot fresher. We use different spices. It's not spicy, but it's like spiced. And now we haven't had to do that education part lately. Like, people actually know. And that's what I said, they come in, they know exactly what they expect, and they're enjoying it.
So for people that might not know the main differences, like as far as spice-wise or flavor profile, what separates a Lebanese restaurant versus a Persian restaurant?
So I'm not an expert on Persian, so I don't want to overstep that. But for example, we don't use saffron and cumin as strongly as in the Persian cuisine.
Okay.
So that's understated in our cuisine. Our cuisine has definitely more allspice, for example. Has a little bit more cardamom, but again, not overpowering. So the more aromatic spices are not as strong in our flavor profile, which makes it a little bit more balanced. I feel, to me, of course, for a Persian person, they feel their cuisine is what they're used to. So from that perspective, there's less of the meat on a skewer that is grilled. That's not as strong in our cuisine. There's less rice in our cuisine. We don't use rice with everything. We rarely use rice, like when we're cooking at home. It's not a common thing.
Okay.
It does occur with stews, and that's it. We don't just do the different rices that the Persian cuisine has. So
and we use a lot of lemon, olive oil, garlic, right? So we use that in a lot of marinades and in a lot of the salads. We have a lot of mezzes, so we kind of share a little bit with the Spanish counterparts. So we have a lot of like small plates, like so when you go and eat at a Lebanese restaurant, you order a lot of appetizers or mezzes, as we call them, and then the entree is kind of secondary almost. Like you might have an entree, you might not. As opposed to when you go to a different restaurant, you have to have your big skewer with rice and have like a big entree. So that's kind of difference. And when people actually eat here and leave, they always say, "Oh my God, I feel great. I don't feel like I'm walking out. I'm not hungry, but I don't feel like I'm full and bloated."
Stuffed.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of vegetarian dishes, but culturally vegetarian to start with, in addition to the meat dishes. So it's not like you have to veganize them. And that also appeals to a big portion of the population, because if you're taking a dish that was originally with meat and you're trying to change it to make it vegan or vegetarian,
it's so hard.
It's not the same, it doesn't taste as right. These are things that have evolved culturally over centuries like that. So we have a lot of greens and vegetables in our cuisine also, and a strong influence of olive oils and lemons, right? Because it's Mediterranean, which changes a little bit that flavor profile from what the Persian flavor profile is.
That makes sense.
I still remember clearly one guest who came and they didn't order the lamb that we have because it's a lamb shank, because they don't like the lamb shank that is on the shank. And then somebody next to them ordered the lamb rice pilaf that came without the lamb shank. And they're like, "Oh, is that the lamb?" I was like, "Yes." I'm like, you should say that it's not on the bone, because they're used to the Persian, which is on the bone.
It's big.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's not cooked properly. So it's very...
So there are small things like that make a difference. And I have to say, we did incorporate a lot of that feedback from people when they came the first 6 months in redesigning the menu and how we changed the verbiage of the menu
to accommodate.
Yes, exactly.
That makes sense. Your food knowledge is so impressive, because again, when you were like, "Oh, I just did like the interior," like I'm very impressed by how much you know. So how does this business partnership level out? You're the executive chef. You're a legit doctor. Like, how does this work?
There's a lot of headbutting.
Yeah?
Yes, we kind of go back and forth a lot. Like we're working on our winter menu, or some of the items on the winter menu. And an item, before it comes to fruition, right, it goes through a discussion phase of, like many days. And there's always a pull and tug and pull, right, until we kind of find the right balance. But I have to say, that's the part
Which
of it,
is a good
actually,
thing,
right?
yes.
And then at some point, like whatever the happy medium that we come up with actually turns out to be like the best product, right? Not completely on the left, not completely on the right. So it's kind of the medium, the middle. And then eventually we cook it and we try it, and then. But yes, it takes a lot of...
Because we have different visions.
Yeah.
So I'm coming from here, he's coming from here. When we meet in the middle, it actually pleases
it's a great balance.
A broader palette group.
Big spectrum of people.
That's amazing. How has being partners in different industries, and especially coming to Atlanta? So I'm not sure if you guys have had this experience, but I feel like Atlanta has a lot of turn and burn when it comes to restaurants, similar to how you were saying with Dallas, like they're just popping up. So with you guys having so much competition and being here, how do you guys stay ahead of the curve and keep it just kind of fresh to where people want to come in?
Great question. I feel my belief is slow and steady wins the game. So I always want to give you the best food I can give you at the restaurant. I don't want to have all the gadgets and the fire and the lava that comes on the plate. I just want to give you a great plate of food, and you can come in, enjoy it, have a great food, feel good about it, have a great experience, and go home, right? Mm-hmm. So that you always remember this, because yes, sure, you can have all the gadgets that we're talking about. It's going to be a one-time thing,
right?
I just want to give you a good product and consistent product all the time. And I love it actually that I hear guests saying they love how the food is consistent, right? And it's always the same thing. Of course, there's mishaps here and there. But for the most part...
No, it's actually always the same. If I get the hummus, I know that it's always going to taste like the hummus. It's not like, oh, we switched this or we ran out of this, or... No, it's very consistent.
We do. And that's why we don't expand the menu bigger than what it is now, because I really want to control the quality on every item that comes out. We taste everything every morning. We cook small batches. We don't, so that we can cook basically every day. We cook the same batches so that it's everything fresh. We don't like, things to kind of wait from one day to the other. So just consistency and, giving you a great product.
So we don't freeze.
Okay.
Right? Everything is fresh. And then good service, of course. And then the way we keep it interesting is, as Mark said earlier, is by changing the menu, as opposed to having a huge menu that you cannot keep up with. The season changes. There are things that you're not going to eat in the summer, things that you're not going to eat you're not going to come in the summer and eat a soup, for example, right?
Right.
So you change the menu seasonally to keep it interesting.
And then we do chef dinners, right, once a month. And these dinners really are kind of my lab to...
Once every few months.
Sure. These are kind of where really the lab where we try new items, we have the guests try them, and then we really get a feedback before we put it out completely. So there's many items that we've actually done throughout the year that are on the list to come on the winter menu. And because we've tried them, they turn out great, and then we had great feedback for them, so they'll make it on soon.
Is it hard for you guys to get like super fresh ingredients here, or is it about the same as it was in Dallas?
No, it's great. We have great purveyors. We actually fly our sea bass, our branzino from Spain. Like, it is a Spanish flown branzino. It comes here to our distributor, and they bring it to us. I mean, we have great ingredients.
But that's why you change it seasonally, so that you keep on getting the fresh ingredients.
And you don't have to worry about it?
Yes.
That makes sense. What made you guys pick Atlanta?
Oh, that was my job. That was easy.
Okay, so what made you choose it?
It wasn't a restaurant decision. It was a medicine decision.
Okay.
So Atlanta really is oddly enough, and I know it's gonna veer a little bit from the restaurant, but
No, we want to know about you as well.
medically speaking, is almost a little bit underserved when it comes to neurology compared to other big cities. So it didn't have a lot when it comes to headache medicine. And I thought that this is a great opportunity to come and develop a headache center here. So that's what I came and did.
So you came and developed your own entire medical center here for...
It's a headache center.
Okay.
I joined a partner of mine, and then we started from scratch. Yes, we developed the Southeast Center for Headache in Sandy Springs.
So what does that mean? Because I can honestly say, before reading your bio, I have no idea what that meant.
So people who have chronic migraine, cluster, other headache disorders, there's a lot of different less common headache disorders that people don't know. They don't know where to go. They go to regular neurologists who may or may not be interested in headache, and they don't get the appropriate treatment. And I've seen stuff that is unbelievable here. People for 40 plus years not treated appropriately for their migraine.
I've seen like Botox for migraines, like
so
a lot.
So we do that, we do nerve blocks, we do have an infusion center. So now it's a comprehensive center. We're 7 providers now who only treat that. So it's a very, very comprehensive care for patients with headaches.
That's amazing. And then...
To bring it back to here, so we have guests come in, and they usually ask me if he's available, so that they can make an appointment to go see him at the clinic.
That is so funny. So they get to feed off both businesses, literally.
Because it's very hard to get into the clinic now because there's a wait list, because we're the only headache center for the 4-5 state area. There's no other place to go.
How far out are you guys booked?
So we're booked out at least 4 months now.
That's a beautiful problem to have.
Yeah, so they come to the restaurant because it's easy to get a reservation here.
It is.
And then they ask for me. And then they start chatting like they're talking about the restaurant. They're like, we read that you're a neurologist. By the way, my wife here has migraine. That's
perfect marketing, though, to know that like I can just come and it's like, oh, that's the same person.
No, that's not what we're promoting.
But I'm saying it's good on both ends for both businesses because it would suck to come here and start a business and one side do super well and the other not. So I'm just saying from like a balance standpoint.
Yes, from that perspective, of course.
And it creates the family environment that you wanted, in a sense of that they do feel comfortable enough to talk to you.
So just yesterday, they were sitting literally on that table right there. If they're watching, they would know exactly who it is.
That's so
and
funny.
He's like, next time I'm coming with my daughter because she's having a lot of issues and I wanted to see her.
That is perfect. And then, on the other side, you have to be like, you came to me and I love this. Now here's a percentage off. Come to BEY and enjoy yourself. That's amazing.
So the joke in the restaurant is come for dinner, stay for the consult.
Literally. That's great though. It's perfect balance. I feel like you both have like a great partnership as far as balance goes. Both of you have a business background though, it seems. For you to open your own practice or come here, no?
No.
Did you assist with that, or is this just the restaurant side?
I'm just on the restaurant side. No medicine for me.
Okay. How have you guys liked Atlanta and being here and the transition between Dallas? Because it's been over a year.
5 years now.
Well, this has been for a year, and then you guys have been here for 5, 6.
This opened in October.
Okay.
We're coming up on a year.
We moved here at the end of 2019. So the transition was tough because we moved here right before the world shut down. So we moved here and we know no one, and then the world closes. And you couldn't meet anybody, you couldn't make friends, you couldn't talk to people. And clearly we're not sociable, right? So,
Right. Not at all.
So it took a couple of years before we could actually settle down in Atlanta and start making friends and start going out and meeting people. Now it's great.
Okay. And you feel like that transition has been good into the city?
Yes.
I love it.
Being in the restaurant truly makes you, I mean, I remember from the first restaurant, and same thing here. You meet guests that become friends, that become longtime friends. Like we have friends that we met at the first restaurant that, you know, are our best friends that we travel the world with. And that's what I like about the restaurant. It's like, even literally, it's our living room. So you're here having, you know, especially when I get to go out actually and talk to people, and I love connecting with them. And you make these friendships, and that's kind of what kind of grows our, you know, circle.
Where did you study for culinary school?
So I went to culinary school in Lebanon, in Beirut.
Okay.
And I graduated. I was valedictorian of my class. But I really never wanted to work as a chef. I never wanted to work as a chef, and I didn't work as a chef.
Okay.
And I went to hotel management, and then I was working in hotels for the longest period of my of time, and then until this venture came around.
So how do you feel about the rise of like the social media chefs and like the home trained, like I learned just from grandma or at home? Like, does it bother you? How do you feel about it?
No, because I learned from my mom.
Yeah.
I mean, although I did go to culinary school, but really what I know and what I'm putting through, what people love, is what I learned from our mom, from my mom, from his mom, from, you know, generational recipes. So listen, more power to them. If they want to be chefs and they can kind of push through, let them do it.
Do you go ahead.
People love the idea that these are family recipes.
Yeah.
Right? More so than this is a recipe from a book, from some class that you took.
Right.
They love family recipes.
Within the community, as far as cooking and everything like that, do you guys feel like you have a good balance between chef friends, restaurant friends, business friends, doctors, or do you guys feel like you're kind of stuck in your realm? Because I love Atlanta as far as networking and meeting everybody and doing everything, but I know sometimes when you're in your career, it's like this is all you see.
No, you're right. We are stuck for a minute. So we are friends with the restaurant that opened in the complex here, right? Mm-hmm. But we made it a point that every weekend we're going to go out and go to a different establishment here in Roswell to kind of, you know, because they all came here. They all came and tried it and loved it. So it's time for us to kind of do the same. But it took us a minute because, you know, like the first 6 months of the restaurant, trying to get your legs under you.
Yes.
So now we feel to a place where we're comfortable enough to kind of, you know, leave the team on their own, and then we're going to venture and go have fun at the other establishments.
But socially, we're not stuck in one group.
That's good. You have a good balance.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what you were asking.
Yeah, but no, that's perfect, because for people that don't know, you guys are in a prime location. I really want to know how you found it. So you are parallel to Canton Street, which has, I'm not going to say a lot of competition for you all because there's not any Persian or Lebanese restaurants there for people to even think that there's something similar, but you have an entire street of restaurants and bars and fun things to do. And then you guys are in a brand new complex with brand new restaurants. Another one just popped up. How'd you guys find the location, and how are you navigating the competition?
So during the pandemic, we used to come up a lot to Roswell from Sandy Springs. We spent a lot of time up here, and then we grew to love the area. And we always had our realtor, commercial realtor guy, and he would always kind of bring, you know, different locations to us. And then eventually he brought this location. And my first question was, is there parking? Because I mean, you know, to come up and park here was a pain.
Yeah.
And he said, yep, there's a parking deck. I'm like, perfect, sold. There's a parking deck, we got it. So no, but we love the area. So I mean, truly the convenience of having parking and
But we wanted Roswell because we love Roswell. Roswell is foodie. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to come up here. Plus, it's close to where we live.
Okay.
We used to come here all the time. So we know that this is an area that people like to come to. You add the parking, you have the perfect combo.
It's perfect. Especially with like things like Live After 5. Mm-hmm. Do you guys see a big crowd with that?
We do.
Okay.
A lot of people come here after. To answer a part of the other question, which kind of leads to this too. Yeah. So competition, you know, Canton Street, I feel like good business is good for everybody, right? If everybody's doing well, everybody's doing well.
1,000%.
So, but also we, in the past 9 months, we've kind of like have established our own place in the market as to what we offer, right? We might not be for everybody. So we have our own guests that come in and seek this kind of experience. So I don't think we're competing with anyone. Like we're doing our own thing. We're loving it. So I feel people kind of, if they want this experience, like come here for this experience.
And we're friends with the other establishments, and it's not a competitive in a negative sense.
Right.
It's actually healthy competition.
A collaborative competition, because if we're bringing more people, they're seeing the other restaurant, they're going to try them. If they bring more people, they're seeing us, they want to try us. So it's a good, positive competition.
That's a good point. When we were actually signing the lease, they had told us there's going to be 5 restaurants here. And that's kind of also like the big draw of why I wanted to sign. It's just the synergy of having multiple restaurants here to kind of bring, and then now that they're all open, because at the beginning, we were the first one out the gates.
Yes,
it was a little bit tough. But then now that everybody's here, I can see the difference, like from 9 months ago, like, the traffic of people here, people come, and I always ask them, like, hey, have you been to this development? Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we ate at Grana, and now we're going to eat here. So I always tell them, okay, now you got to go eat at Cia del Toro, and then Azotea. I mean, it's nice. It kind of it goes round.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you guys feel like it's hard as far as creativity? Because again, you guys have a really good work balance. How hard is it, or is it hard for you to stay creative and ahead of like the trends? I feel like every time I get on social media, there's something new, whether it's drinks or food. How is it for you guys staying like trendy, or do you stick with your roots, or do you try to mix it?
So I stick with my roots. Like now when I see the trends, if I can integrate the trend in a good way where it doesn't take away from our product or from the experience, I will. But I don't jump on every trend for now, at least for now, right?
Yeah.
I just want to give you a good, solid product for now. And I feel if I start bringing the trends in, it might dilute our product.
And you guys have an amazing bar, so it's probably easier to get crafty and creative with the bar drinks.
And we do that with the cocktails. Yeah. We do that with the cocktails.
And the thing is that Lebanese cuisine is so varied and so unknown that even the most basic of dishes that in Lebanon you would think of never offering in a restaurant, if you offer it here, it's still something new. So in my way of thinking of things, our dictionary of options is so huge,
endless,
that we don't need to be worried about what is the next trend, because we're going to constantly have an option of offering something new. And that's why we can constantly evolve the menu with the seasons, because we're going to always have something to take from our roots to bring something new to the table. And every time we do that, people love it. And the few times we try to make something to fit whatever, people will always say something is off. And then we always end up bringing it back to our roots. And then people love it.
It's funny. So we had, before we opened, I was meeting with, different winemakers and different labels and all that to get our wine list. And I remember specifically, I'm going to say someone said, don't focus a lot on Lebanese wines. People are not going to come here for Lebanese wines. Focus on actually labels that people know. I'm like, I beg to differ. But it kind of did kind of put, the doubt in my head. I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? I'm happy to report 9 months after.
Your wine selection is great.
Thank you.
Yes.
People actually come for the experience. They want to taste Lebanese wines.
I don't want the same thing that I can get next door or at the liquor store next door. Like I want, when in Lebanon, let me try Lebanon.
Yep. That's exactly it. And that's why I say, like, people come for the experience, even for the food. Like the more Lebanese forward I make the dish, the more they love it. But you only know this with experience, right? I don't know if that, you can have an anticipation of what people might like. But now that we're doing it, like, for example, we have this toum, which is the garlic cream. I can make it, a little bit less intense or more intense. The more intense I make it, the more people want more of it. So, which I would never thought that they would want like that garlicky,
Somebody thought that.
I think we're at a time where like we keep eating the same stuff and just different renditions of the same stuff, which I always see the joke, like they need to come out with a new animal. Like I'm tired of chicken, I'm tired of steak. So to your point, I think when we are trying things that we're not used to, it does bring that in to like, yes, give me more garlic, increase the profile, give me more.
Right.
Is there any, well, for both of you, I want you to think of 2 dishes that you thought were the most basic, like Lebanese dish that would not do well, that you're like, I would not serve this at my restaurant, that just went super great that you were surprised about?
See, it's hard for me to answer that. I think it'll be easier for him to answer that.
Okay.
Because I didn't think of, because I just told you, like, in the way I think about it, I don't think of them as they're not gonna do good. I think that they're gonna do good.
Okay.
For
So
me,
what surprised you?
For me, what surprised me is some of the dishes that I thought are gonna do good that didn't do good.
Okay, like
So
what?
it's the other way around.
Which ones? I
For
forgot.
example, the dessert. Like
Oh,
we have
yeah.
a couple desserts that in Lebanon are like top of the line desserts, like the
Which one?
top selling, the sweet cheese roll, for example. It is one of the most asked
What's
for.
it called?
The sweet cheese roll.
Oh, just a sweet cheese
Yes.
roll. Okay.
We don't have it on the menu anymore. In Lebanon, it's one of the most sought after dessert. Everybody who's Lebanese loves it, or Arab. And then when we took it off, all the Lebanese and the Arab were like super disappointed. None of the Americans liked it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so it was the other way around. For him, we had a couple of dishes that he didn't want. He's like, oh, this is like, it's not gonna do good.
Please
It's
remind
crazy.
us, because I forgot which
I
one.
feel like this
Some-
is an I told you so
some-
moment.
I
So
know,
which
of
ones?
course.
No, because he told me on the sweet cheese roll.
Yeah.
Like he told me it's not gonna do good, and it didn't do good. So he was right on that. Salted rye, for example.
Yes, there's an
didn't think-
eggplant salad, smoked eggplant
Yeah,
salad.
he didn't think it's gonna do good. He's like, it's basic, it's not good, and people are loving it.
Okay. And then what's
It's not
another?
that it's basic, it's not good. There's a dish that you make at home that shines in the moment, right? It's
Yeah.
a fresh dish. You have to eat it right away. So when I think about the dish, I think about like, okay, how is it going to sit on the line? How are we going to execute it?
Storage. Is it going to be cold enough?
Right.
Can
Is
we
it going
serve
to
it?
be, by the end of the shift, is it going to still be good? So I always had my doubts about that until I was convinced to go ahead and put it on the menu, and it's doing great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
sweet cheese roll, he didn't want it on the menu. I insisted. I was like, no, it's gonna do great. People are gonna like, not at all.
No? And
Yeah.
then how about for you?
I have no recollection of any dish.
Except the eggplant.
This one.
The eggplant.
The eggplant.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember, but I mean, he has a better memory than I do.
The eggplant is the only one that I can think
Yeah.
of that you were opposed to the idea of having it, and that it's doing really good. Like people are loving it.
That's amazing. I'm not big on cheese, so I probably wouldn't have tried the cheese, but I do like the eggplant. I do. There are very few things. I don't think there's anything I've had here that I don't like.
With the cheese thing, so in Lebanon, it's very common to use the syrup that is flavored with rose water.
Okay.
And that's what people had a hard time with. One, cheese is not super desserty for an American
Right.
palate. And then you add the rose water, and a lot of people are like, this tastes like perfume for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they couldn't get past.
The perfumey
Yeah.
taste. Okay. Is it hard, or I guess not, because you said people want that tradition. Like when you guys are thinking of new dishes and with the seasons changing, is it hard to, I guess, go to grandma's cookbook and think like, all right, what's good for this season or what will do well, or to change with the times? Because weather-wise, like we're getting super cold. I have not been to Lebanon yet. Do you guys get a winter?
Now we got 4 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you have all 4. Okay, I'm assuming it doesn't snow though.
Yeah.
You guys
Yes.
get snow as well?
Ski resorts.
Oh,
We have
Yeah.
ski resorts, yeah.
okay.
Amazing ski resorts. I don't know.
I don't know that it's hard. Like, it's easy to find the recipes. It's hard for us to agree which one to bring next.
And how do you
So-
guys normally figure that out?
Arguing back and forth.
Well, if you ever need somebody to taste, I
That's
volunteer.
it. We will.
Yes.
So we argue, and then I cook it, and then
Yeah.
we try it.
Call me. I will
And
be the
then-
determining
Yeah.
factor. And do you
Actually,
have...
that's not a bad idea because that's what we do. We
You
argue
should.
until we decide to cook it, and then we cook it here normally. So we'll call you, come down.
Yeah, and then just have the staff try it. I love a good food tasting.
Yeah.
I love it. What does Mediterranean hospitality mean for you guys?
That's a loaded question.
Mediterranean hospitality traditionally is an open house, nonstop. Like I remember growing up, for example, our door would not be ever closed. Like the door to our house is constantly open. People are in and out nonstop. Our house was always the party house in any case. So my friends, my sister's friend, my parents' friends were always in our house. We never had a moment where we didn't have somebody in the house. And that's what I'm used to. So this is an extension of what I grew up with.
Right. And I think we show love with food. We feed you. We give you more food. All right. We feed you, we give you more food, we give you more drinks, and then when you thought the party's done and you're at the door, you have another conversation at the door for like another 20, 30 minutes.
Is it hard to set that boundary? Like, all right, it's 12 o'clock, we got to wake up in the morning?
There's none of that. That doesn't exist. That does not exist.
All right, so Mark, you had a lot of experience with the Four Seasons. Are there any lessons that you took from there that you brought here, and what are they?
There's one rule, it's called the Golden Rule, that the Four Seasons actually as a company follows. In a nutshell, basically, you gotta be kind to one another, right? You gotta be nice to other people, treat the others the same way you want to be treated. And although we all know this, but we got to really practice it for like the 5 years I was with them. And it sticks with you, and it makes me a better manager, it makes me a better boss, it makes me a better person with my team here. Because really, I mean, I want everybody that comes to work here to have a good time. I want them, of course, work is going to be work, but I want them to enjoy coming in, not dread coming to work. And then it helps me in creating this environment for them where they feel safe, secure, have a good time. We joke, we laugh, we dance. We might not scream, but it gets like charged, during service. But at the end of the day, they feel good about being here. And truly, that role kind of helped, build what we're building now.
It's amazing. And with your background, being a doctor, what do you feel like food helps? Like in terms of, you always see like, eat this for your brain health, or eat this or eat that. Do you guys have anything specifically on your menu that you would recommend?
Our whole menu. It's Mediterranean, right? It's the healthy diet. So Mediterranean diet is what is recommended for brain health. And it's not a fad, because fads come and go and people talk about this, talk about that. What has stood the test of time over and over and study after study is the Mediterranean diet.
Really?
Because of the olive oil and because of the vegetables and because of less frying than other cuisines. So that's what we recommend to all of our patients in any case. And that's what helps with decreasing the risk of chronic neurologic diseases. So the Mediterranean diet is the diet to follow.
So I heard this lady, I don't know if this is true or not, hopefully you can tell me. She said she took a spoonful of olive oil every day and just drank it. And it helped with her hair and memory and skin. Is that true?
So it's hard to answer that, because it may have worked for her. And I cannot say whether it worked for her or not. Until you do a study where you take hundreds of patients and you say, you're going to eat a spoon and you're not going to eat a spoon, it's hard for me to make a generalized statement to tell you, yes, it's true or it's not true. What I can tell you is that olive oil has the good omegas. Right? You hear about omega-3, 6, 9.
Mm-hmm. For like eyes, hair, skin.
So olive oil does have that. So yes, and that's why the Mediterranean diet is what's recommended, because of the olive oil, among other things. So, but whether the 1 tablespoon every morning is going to be the key to improving things or not, that's what I cannot answer.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you have any suggestions for people that are, now I don't know if this oversteps as far as you being a doctor, but since the Mediterranean diet is like a better diet for people to be on, what is there to focus on, like if you want cognitive health or to lower your migraines as far as food goes? So
olive oil for sure, vegetables as much as you can, leafy green stuff are good for you because they're high in iron and vitamins. And then for migraine specifically, there's something called the low FODMAP diet. FODMAP, these are foods that are bothersome for the gut. And if you bother your gut, you bother your brain, right? Because of the gut-brain relationship. So you want low FODMAP. Now, if you don't have migraine, you don't have to stick with a low FODMAP. A regular Mediterranean diet is okay. But if you do have that, then that's what you want to follow. And then the problem with the Mediterranean diet is only if you have celiac, then you have to cut out the pilaf, but you can still eat everything else.
Okay. And in terms of the vegetables, I always hear people say to eat the vegetables. What is the best way to eat them? Because I feel like I always hear saute and they should be crunchy still. And then sometimes people overcook them. Like, what is that perfect, healthy vegetable?
Don't fry. Right? The whole point is that if you fry, you ruin it. Because the frying itself is taking away some of the good vitamins, but also adding the calories of the fry. And then the saute, the reason saute is good because it seals in the juices that have all of those vitamins. When you're steaming also is another good way of doing them. But if you do them in stews, then it doesn't matter because whatever
It's
you're
all in
losing
there.
is already in there. You're eating them. So this is why don't focus as much on how you're doing them as long as you're not frying them and then you're still eating the juices.
Okay. I love that. Do you agree?
I agree. Yes.
Okay.
I'm feeling like this is like more of a medical conference now. I mean, I'm like
No,
we're learning.
I wanted both sides
No, it's
because
great.
it is.
No, it's great.
No, but
yeah.
this is how you cook. This is how we cook.
Right. No,
That's the whole point.
You're like, this is why we look so good and we have so much energy because we eat right.
No, it's great.
What is your favorite, each of you, your favorite menu item from here? You can do one of the small plates and one of the large plates.
No, so my main thing that I go to every time and I tell everybody to go to is our grilled chicken tawu, which is like a grilled chicken skewer. It's been marinated for 48 hours with yogurt and all these great spices and olive oil and lemon juice. And it's juicy and it's garlicky and it gives you the right, punch that you need. And my hummus is the die for.
Your hummus is amazing.
So these are the two things I would eat anytime.
So I'm more of a carnivore than him. And my two favorite dishes are the lamb pilaf and the short rib.
That
Like
short
by
rib.
far.
That short rib was to
Yes.
die for.
He
Like-
cleans it completely from all the fat and then it's cooked for like 6 hours and then braised for 6 hours and then cooks it back into the juices. It's amazing. And then same thing with the lamb. He cooks it exactly the same way. So to me, these are the two by far best.
How has your upbringing shaped the restaurant and then your experience within the restaurant? Like, was this something your parents, when you were like, okay, we're opening this restaurant, we want to get into the restaurant business. It is very volatile. What was the support?
So as I said earlier, like our house was always open and there was always food. And if you came, you always ate with us. It doesn't matter who you are. If we know you from 1 month or 1 year, you partake with our cuisine. And that's what we have in here. So one of the first things my parents said when I said we're opening a restaurant was don't. But then past that was you have to make people feel welcome, like at home. And as you know, like when people come in here, they leave our best friends. Even though when they're coming in, we barely know each other. So a lot of people who come for the second time, they come in, I see them, we hug as if we've known each other forever.
Oh, for sure.
And it's that making them feel welcome. And that's the advice of my parents was like, make people feel at home when they come to your restaurant.
Same. I mean, it was always, because it's a volatile, it's a risk, right, that you take when you open a restaurant. So they don't want you to see, they don't want to see you fail. But once you do it, it's the same thing. Like, make sure that people feel, welcome. They feel like they belong, connect with them, which is what we already do. So it's kind of the same advice, just to kind of make sure people are happy and, welcome here.
When my mom is here, people love it. When mom goes and talks to them, it's like the best experience because they love that matriarch and then they start talking to her and asking her about the cuisine and stuff like that. And they feel the experience is even better just because she's talking to them. When dad was here, even though he doesn't speak English, just the fact of seeing him here, it just changes the whole perspective of knowing that there's a family behind this restaurant, not some
big
corporate,
chain.
faceless corporate institution.
You guys had a successful restaurant in Dallas and you guys were able to exit successfully. What do you think, or what can you attribute to that? Because it is such a volatile business. And I mean, the last time that I looked into the restaurant business, I think it's at a 5 to 7 years to see like a positive net flow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how was that for you guys? What was your experience? Was it volatile? Was it like a smooth ride? Did you feel like you got lucky, or did you think that it was your business sense? What do you attribute to the success of that restaurant?
There's no luck. There's a lot of work that goes, into it to make sure that, there is a better cash flow. No, it didn't take about 7 years for us on the first one, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of hard work and perseverance, and then to keep pushing, because you need to keep pushing. You don't know, like on year one, nothing might happen, but literally year one and one day, it might happen for you, right? And that's what we keep doing. Like you keep pushing every day until we had a great product. We loved it the same way we love BEY. And it showed and people saw it and it won a lot of accolades. and that helped. By winning the first year, winning multiple awards, it kind of helped. Putting it on the map. And
That's amazing. What awards did you win?
we won like best restaurant, top 10 restaurants in Dallas for the first year. I don't remember. We won a couple
won
things.
top 10 Atlanta restaurants here also.
Already?
Even though we're not even a year old.
So
yeah.
it wasn't top. It was. So the Journal Record puts out like their top 10 picks for 2024, and we were in the third month. We were like in the top 10.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
You're
We got top
welcome.
Atlanta on the AJC.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I think it's a combo of two things. It's a combo of a consistent cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Mark fails in the kitchen, it doesn't matter what happens in the front. It's not going to work out.
Right.
He produces a excellent product consistently every time. And a friendly front. So people are happy when they're eating and they're enjoying the food. They come back. And then we started out by saying the Roswell community has been a great community that embraced us. That's the third element that made us successful from year one. Like it's not common for a restaurant to be successful from year one. We've been successful from year one. We've had people have to be on a wait list. We've had to tell people on weekends, of course, not on weeknights, to say, we cannot take your reservations, we're sorry.
Which is an amazing problem for you guys to have.
In year one, this is not common at all. So no, we're very happy with the fact that it beat our business plan.
What business advice would you guys have for someone that's opening a business? You guys have, I feel like, a plethora of knowledge from a business standpoint and a friendship standpoint, because you see so many people go into business with partners and it just doesn't work out. What advice would you give?
I'll tell you what advice I give myself if I were to look back at it, right? Don't lose sleep.
Okay.
For me, if I want to get something done, I will get it done. Believe in yourself that if you're going to get it done, you're going to get it done. Don't lose sleep. Don't fret over it because it's going to happen. I lost a lot of sleep and I ruined a lot of moments because I was like worried about, the restaurant and oh my God, we signed this lease for 10 years and what are we doing? This is the right thing to do. No, believe in yourself and just that's it actually. Believe in yourself and get it done.
That's my motto in life.
Same.
Like, I've always told him that, like, you do the best you can. Beyond that, it's not in your hands. So you do the best you can. And as long as you're doing the best you can sleep at night. And then,
that's fair. And then as far as business partnerships with friends or family,
don't do it.
Never do it again.
Don't do it.
You're like, this one works, I'm done. I'm not accepting any other friends.
Don't do it.
It's too hard.
It ruins it. It's unfortunate, but it ruins it.
Do you think it's the pressure or the money or the stress?
It's the money.
It's the money and it's the vision.
Okay.
It's two different visions, right?
Okay.
Well, even though you think that you came together on one vision, it always diverts, and then there's two different poles, and that's where it breaks. So it's the money.
Is it the lack of money, the tight months, or is it when things are going really well and they want to take?
Either way, it's the fact that what you want to do with the money is different. Like if you want this vision, so you want to reinvest the money while they don't want to, or it's financial. It's always financial.
Okay. I always hear the other side where it's like when we start making money, people just get very greedy. And then it's like, well, I want more because I'm doing this or that. So I was just wondering as far as that goes.
Oh, that happened also.
You're like all the above.
Yep.
Would you, if someone is interested in opening a restaurant, what would your financial advice be as far as like, how much should they have saved or what would you expect to spend like in your first year with your restaurant? Because I mean, this restaurant is beautiful, but every time I look around, I'm like, I know this light fixture up here was expensive. I know this frame was expensive. Like everything has been very meticulously.
We're not the right people to ask because it beats the business plan. So normally people always say that you're going to sink a lot of money into the restaurant the first year, which wasn't our case. So I don't know to tell you that you should have this much cushion or not because...
But you do, in general. After you put in all your money to do your build out and, to get the restaurant to point, ready to go, you have to have a cushion.
Yes, but how much?
Oh, how much? Nobody knows.
That's what she's saying.
I'm sorry. It's based
No,
on the
it's okay.
restaurant. It's based on the restaurant size. It's based on.
So would you say for
the
a space
operation.
like this, and not to get in your financial business, but like, would you say to have 100,000 ready to operate for the first year or more?
More. You have to have at least $250,000 ready.
Minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah.
And is that with the 3 to 6 month cushion if nothing works?
That's exactly it.
Okay. Because I feel like I see a lot of people opening restaurants, and I think that's part of the reason that they don't work is because I don't think they have enough operational cost. So that's what I was wondering.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
So minimum.
like sometimes the project might cost you, I'm going to throw a number, $2 million, right, to get it built out.
Mm-hmm.
So people think, okay, that's it. I'm going to come up with the $2 million. No, there's $2 million and $250,000 more for you to operate this for the first 3 to 4 or 5 months until it starts making something to pay for itself.
And do you think, like, was it hard for you all coming here, finding like all of your people, like you have your linens, your plates, your staff, like just everything? How did you guys source everything?
It wasn't hard, actually.
Food, drinks.
There's great vendors in Atlanta. I mean, it wasn't hard at all. And some of the vendors, literally, they come to you. They're like, hey, you're opening. They did the same thing you did. They peeked in and they're like,
we
when
want
are you
them.
opening? Let's talk to you. I'm like, come on in, let's talk. So
because they know it's
hard,
being built out, so they're already.
It wasn't hard, so it was great. It was a
Plus,
great
with
endeavor.
his experience,
It was easy
he
to
was
find.
able to navigate all of that. It's not like he had no experience talking to vendors.
Right.
So his experience helped with that.
When you first started in Dallas, was it hard to find good vendors? Because I feel like there's so many, like alcohol, wine, water, everything.
It was hard in Dallas just because you didn't know. It was hard because it was the first restaurant, so you didn't know really where to connect, where to look, who to talk to. Here it was easier because we've done it the first time, so it was kind of easier to know where to look for things or people or vendors.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want the people in Roswell and Atlanta to know about you both?
Come visit us and you'll feel at home.
Yes.
Really, seriously.
Okay.
It's super fun. And then many times I literally pull up a chair and sit with you. It happens more often than not where people say, oh, just sit down and have dinner with us.
Listen, I hope that we will always remain a place where people feel comfortable to come in, enjoy their time, and that we have the time to sit down and chat with them and enjoy the conversation. Truly, these conversations that we have with our guests, it enriches us. Like the same way I'm feeding them, they feed me with the energy that they give me. They feed me with the positive, they love the food or they don't love the food or the feedback. It goes both ways. So I hope, they'll come in and try it and we become best friends. And then we'll go from there.
Thank you guys so much. Mark and CK, I really appreciate your time. I'm going to include all the links below. I appreciate you for having us.
Thank you
so
for
much
being
for
here.
coming. We appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
And then we'll call next time we have a tasting.
Please do, because I will be here. And for all of you watching at home, the next time that you guys are in Roswell, be sure to check them out. The links will be below and make sure to comment, follow, and subscribe for more. Until next time. Bye, guys.